What if the person you're trying so hard to keep is slowly making you lose yourself? Not through betrayal, not through manipulation, but through countless tiny moments that seem harmless until one day you realize you no longer recognize the person you used to be. The most painful relationships don't always end with heartbreak. Sometimes they quietly erase your identity while convincing you it's just the price of love. Losing yourself in a relationship rarely happens overnight. It happens through small compromises, ignored emotions, and repeated patterns that slowly replace your identity. At first, every sacrifice feels insignificant. You tell yourself you're simply being understanding, flexible, or supportive. But over time, those small sacrifices begin adding up, and without realizing it, you've started building a life that revolves around someone else instead of yourself. By the end of this video, you'll discover 3 psychological signs that may reveal you're losing yourself without even noticing. Sign number 1, you constantly change yourself to keep them happy. Healthy relationships require compromise, but they should never require you to constantly rewrite who you are. One of the earliest psychological signs of losing yourself is people-pleasing. It often begins with small changes that feel completely harmless. You stop expressing opinions because they usually disagree. You pretend to enjoy activities that don't truly interest you. You avoid difficult conversations because you don't want to create tension. Slowly, you begin filtering every decision through one question. Will this make them happy? Instead of asking what feels right for you, you focus entirely on protecting the relationship. Over time, your real personality becomes quieter and quieter, until the version of yourself you're showing no longer feels authentic. The tragedy isn't that you've changed, it's that you've forgotten why you changed in the first place. Sign number 2, your happiness depends on their mood. Emotional connection is healthy, but emotional dependency slowly steals your peace. When your happiness rises and falls based entirely on another person's mood, you've handed over control of your emotional well-being. If they wake up cheerful, your day feels bright. If they're distant or distracted, anxiety immediately takes over. You begin analyzing every text message, every facial expression, and every pause in conversation, searching for reassurance that everything is okay. Instead of checking in with your own emotions, you're constantly monitoring theirs. Psychology shows that this creates chronic emotional stress because your brain starts treating their approval as a basic emotional need. Eventually, you're no longer living your own emotional life. You're simply reacting to theirs, leaving you exhausted and emotionally dependent without even realizing it. When your emotions become completely tied to someone else's, another quiet loss begins to unfold, one that's often impossible to ignore forever. Sign number 3, you no longer recognize the person you used to be. Perhaps the strongest sign of all is looking back and realizing the person you once were feels like a stranger. The hobbies that once made you excited slowly disappear. Friendships become distant. Personal dreams are placed on hold. Even the simple routines that once made you feel confident and alive are replaced by the constant effort to maintain the relationship. One day, someone asks what you enjoy doing, and you struggle to answer because it's been so long since you've chosen yourself. Ask yourself one honest question. If this relationship disappeared tomorrow, would I still know who I am? If that answer feels uncertain, it may be because you've spent so much time investing in the relationship that you've stopped investing in yourself. Healthy love should expand your identity, not slowly replace it. Real love should never require you to disappear in order to be accepted. The healthiest relationships don't ask you to sacrifice your personality, your dreams, or your sense of self. Instead, they create a space where both people can grow without losing who they are. The right relationship doesn't ask you to become someone else. It gives you the freedom to become more of who you truly are.